On boxing fans, welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Boxing. I am your host Jeff, and this is episode 14. Man, we have we have three good main fights going on tonight on a Friday night, and then we got tomorrow night. We got the Williams Zepeda fight that we're going to talk down and break down for you guys. We're going to get into some of the fights that are going on tonight. I'm currently watching the Lopez versus Gonzalez card at the moment. Been watching that since 6:30 on Top Rank Boxing. That is on at the moment. Then you have a couple more fights over on the Zone. We'll get into those fights as we go. But of course, man, let's jump into the show. Quite a bit of news this week, man, about Shakur, and then a big announcement tonight on Top Rank on who's going to be on the undercard, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I don't know if we've had this happened before. We'll get into that news also, talk about that. I think that is a really big announcement that happened tonight, man. Glad I was tuning in for that and got to see that up close. I got to hear that and then and it was verified that this is a done deal. This is a done deal, guys. So it's not just something that's being rumored around. This has actually been announced. So we'll get into that. But once again, what is this show called, guy? Bourbon and Boxing, baby. I want to welcome you guys to the show. Once again, thanks anybody who tunes in, man. Thank anybody who views, man. I appreciate you guys, man. If you guys are true boxing fans out there, feel free to comment, argue with me, man. I love to debate all that stuff about boxing. Give me some boxing lessons. Clue me into some new guys. Hit me to somebody new, stuff like that. Somebody that you may like that, you don't hear me talking about. Maybe I'll talk about them on the show. But like I said, this week we are drinking on one of my favorites, actually, Woodford Reserve. A little shot of that. I'm a big fan of Woodford. Very good, very smooth, and it's strong. Really, really strong, man. Got a nice little buzz to it. And of course, man, this show is not Bourbon and Boxing until we take a shot of our bourbon, baby, because the main title is bourbon, but the main topic is always boxing. How do you guys like how I turned that around? You're like, oh, shit, he about to say about bourbon. He don't talk shit about bourbon. No, I'm playing. But here we go, guys. Let's get this show started, baby, with a shot. I hope you're at home taking a shot with me while you're watching this. Whatever you drink, man, put it down below. Let's give a shout out. Whatever you're drinking on when you're watching my show. If you're not drinking on anything, that's cool too, man. If you don't like alcohol, I feel you, man. All good. I don't drink a lot. Just like to do my show on Friday, Bourbon and Boxing. Drink a little through the week here and there, but not a lot, man. Not a lot. I'm not an alcoholic. No, I'm not. All right, man. Let's take this shot. Get this show started, guys. Thank you for joining me today for episode 14 of Bourbon and Boxing, baby. Ooh. Shit. Man, I kind of don't know if I want to get directly into the news that I heard tonight, and then we can get into talking about the fights, the undercards that I've been watching since 6:30 on Top Rank. Got to see Villa versus forgot that guy's name. Anyways, Villa won. Looked good. Tough fight. And what I saw earlier on ESPN from 6:30 on were some pretty good fights. The Villa fight was a good fight. The fight after that, another good fight against some good guys that I watched. But then midway through that, they made a big announcement. I at least think this is a huge announcement. They announced that Navarrete would be fighting Concepcion. Now, that's not big news, right? You're like, well, that's not really big news. No, Navarrete is going to beat the brakes off of this guy. I believe that also. I just believe Concession doesn't stand a chance in this fight, and it's going to be bad for him. I wasn't excited about who he was fighting, but when they announced the day, they said November 16th. I'm like, well, hold on. Shakur's fighting that day. They're both on Top Rank. That's a Thursday night. And then I read more into it, listened a little closer, and they announced that he's going to be the co-main event on the Shakur Stevenson card. Navarrete, a main event guy. I don't know how they talked him into this. I'm really kind of surprised that Navarrete would be a co-main event at this point in his career because he's selling tickets, and then it makes you wonder, is this going to go to pay-per-view now? Because you're going to have a super card with this main event and co-main event, even though they're both, we'll get into who Shakur has now decided to, who has signed on to fight. He's signed on to fight De Los Santos, who he'll be fighting on November 16th in the main card instead of Frank Martin, who was announced that deal was done a couple weeks ago, but then Frank pulled out of those negotiations. No real reason why. He's saying on social media, Frank Martin is saying he didn't pull out. He's not ducking Shakur. But then also on a live feed that he did, he also kind of said that Shakur wanted a certain amount of money, being the A side of the fight, blah, blah, all of that. And I get that with Shakur. Shakur will price himself out of a lot of fights, I feel like. Price himself out of the Haney fight, price himself out of the Navarrete fight about a year ago. He priced himself, supposedly he's priced himself out of this Frank Martin fight, but also Frank Martin and them were the ones who pulled out. It wasn't Shakur. He was willing to go forward with it. And it didn't even have to go to purse bid, if I'm correct. They agreed to this contract. But, of course, man, my dude jumped out, and, Shakur didn't hesitate to go to the next guy in line, which was De Los Santos. And that'd be a good fight, but of course I expect Shakur to win that handily, and I love it, and I hate this coming up because I want, instead of wasting everybody's time with Shakur fighting De Los Santos right now, and then putting Navarrete in against Concession, why are you wasting our time with that bullshit? Are you trying to set something big up for next year? Because obviously the only reason you have these two guys on the same card is because you want to match them up. And that they are future fights. That's a future fight that should be happening right now. That should be the fight happening on November 16th. Like, why are we, like, it's just like, it doesn't make sense to pussyfoot around something, man. Don't pussyfoot around it. Just get these guys in the ring and fighting each other, dude. Like, it doesn't, I hate when that shit happens. It's just like the anticipation, like you're building something up that you could be doing. You don't need to build it up. It doesn't need a build up, right? It wouldn't be a pay-per-view fight, in my opinion. Navarrete versus Shakur on Top Rank. You're going to get that on top, especially if you're going to give us both of them on the same card, on the same night, and no pay-per-view. I don't see it being a pay-per-view, no way. But it is a good card so far with those on it. I don't know who else is going to be on the undercard. Hasn't been announced. I'm pretty sure they don't know yet. They're probably still filling out that card, whatever. But this announcement to me was huge because you got them both on the same card. Two main fighters, two main card fighters. Guys are always in the main event. And Navarrete is going to take that back seat, go to the co-main event. And it only has to be for one reason, is to set that Shakur fight up. But like I said, why are we pussyfooting around that fight, man? Let's get it done. These two guys should be fighting on November 16th, and we shouldn't be watching Shakur versus De Los Santos and Navarrete versus Concession. Come on, man. That's garbage, bro. We're watching these guys who we know they're gonna easily. It's like tune-up fight. Why are we taking? Navarrete doesn't need a tune-up fight. He just beat Valdez. He sure the hell doesn't need a tune-up fight. Maybe Shakur does because he's been out of the ring for a little bit, but not that long. He fought this year, so it's not like he's been out of the ring for like a year or whatever. But yeah, maybe he needs a tune-up fight on the 16th. But having Navarrete on there fighting that soon is a disadvantage to Navarrete, in my opinion, and maybe makes that a fight that should have been happening with Shakur on November. Now, that fight's not going to happen until probably February of next year. They're going to try to drag that into 2024, and I get that. You're going to set that up for next year. We don't want to give all these great fights in one year and then don't have – it's like, being with a hot chick and you blow your load all in one and you don't have nothing left, for 2024. Now you have nothing left for it. Good, you get what I mean. You don't want to blow your load all in one. So I get what boxing's doing. You want to stretch this shit out, and you're going to give us a good teaser. Top Rank, great way to promote this fight with these two guys is to have them on the same card so that they'll be in the same area. They'll be mouthy about it. They'll both have something to say about the other one. I guarantee Navarrete is going to call out Shakur, say, hey, give me that Shakur fight. Give me the guy fighting on the main card tonight. And Shakur is going to say, hey, I want Navarrete too. Let's get this fight on. That fight is my dream fight. I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. Shakur Stevenson versus Navarrete is my dream fight, man. I love both of these fighters. I would have to say Shakur is my future of boxing face for boxing, right? I've been saying that for years. He's a future pound for pound guy. And Navarrete is my favorite sleeper boxer that people really don't know. They don't know about this guy. He came onto the scene. He burst on pretty quick. He's very unorthodox. He's a different style of fighter, man, and that's why I love him. He doesn't go by the rules, man. I'm a type of guy. I don't really go by the rules either. And that's why I like Navarrete. He's a little different. He's unorthodox, all those things, man. Everything you're not supposed to do, Navarrete does. That's what I love about him, man. He's gonna throw you an uppercut from Mississippi and hit you with it, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened? How did I get hit with that?" But I think that Shakur Navarrete fight would just be, God, how amazing would that fight be? I mean, we watched Shakur beat Valdez pretty handedly, and then we watched Navarrete just destroy Valdez, destroy him, and I mean, Valdez gave a hell of a fight. Nothing, like I said, I don't take anything away from that young man. He gave a hell of a fucking fight, man. He fought his ass off, but every time he came in, he just got lit up, and Navarrete tore him up in that fight. I think beat him more convincingly than Shakur did, so that makes that fight even very, very interesting for me. Who I want to, I'm not even gonna pick a winner, man. That's hard for me. I love both of these guys. I don't want to see Shakur lose. I don't want to see Navarrete lose, but I definitely want to see this fucking fight. You know what I mean? Because that's boxing. I don't care if it's two of my favorite fighters when they go up against each other, man. Hey, this is boxing. Let's see who comes out on top, baby. That's a tough one, guys. But God, it gets my blood boiling. Gets me going, bro. Just thinking of that fight. Tell me it doesn't get you guys going thinking of that fight. I mean, I got a fucking hard on thinking about it right now. Do you? You got a hard on thinking about that goddamn fight? I'm not gay. Excuse me. Who cares if you are? But that fight gives me, that's a boner type of fight for me. That's a boneristic fight right there. That's what we'll call that fight. Navarrete versus Shakur is a boneristic fight. And not whatever way. I don't want to get nothing like that. Excuse me sometimes when I'm drinking my bourbon. I might say stupid shit, like I just said. But ignore it. It's a boner fight for me. It gets me hard thinking about that fucking fight. But like I said, there's been a lot of fights on today. Right now, I am watching Zayas. He just got it. How am I missing this fight? I'm talking to you guys, and I'm missing one of my favorite fighters, Xander Zayas, a Puerto Rican. My wife is Puerto Rican. Her family's Puerto Rican, so I always give the Puerto Ricans love. Love Xander Zayas. Think he's a great young talent at Top Rank, and I like how they're actually developing this guy. They don't develop guys the way they should sometimes, but maybe Xander's getting a little bit more say in his career, and he's having say in who he's fighting. So he's getting that experience in there, and God, this kid always looks good. I loved what I saw from him last time. A lot of improvement. I felt like he just fought. Man, he's very active. That's what I love to see with these young guys, man. Stay active. Fight 3-4 times a year, 5 times a year, man. Especially if it's fights that you're dominating. You're in there just, God, there he goes down again. But it's like, I don't know if they're going to consider that a knockdown. They're going to consider it a knockdown. Xander Venezuela Jr. That's this guy's name that he's fighting. I'm a huge Xander fan, man. Just like what I see from this young guy. Watching that live right now on Top Rank, guys. Click over there on ESPN Plus to catch that going on right now. After this is going to be the Lopez versus Gonzalez fight, which I've been waiting for all night. But hey, like I said, Top Rank's giving us fights from 6:30 all the way to now. You can't complain about that, baby. That's what I'm talking about. They really, Top Rank knows how to put a card together. I will give them that. I don't like listening to Tim Bradley half the time. Nothing against you, Tim. Great fighter, just not the best announcer. You seem to take over. You don't let anybody else talk. You just talk the whole fucking time. Nobody else gets a word in. This is Tim Bradley's world, and we're all just listening to it. So I like to mute him a little bit as much as I can. Turn him down a little bit so I don't have to hear so much of his bullshit, because he will convince you on some fights that aren't as close as they are. He'll try to convince you they're pretty close. But they've been talking about this new judging system that was just released by the boxing commission, whatever, World Boxing Commission, whatever it is, that just released this new scoring system. Which doesn't. I mean, it's the same fucking rules. It's just telling us how fights are scored. We don't. It's not how fights are scored, dummies. It's who's scoring the fucking fights, man. Like, duh. Like, it's not the scoring process that is flawed in boxing. It's pretty fucking simple. It's 10-point system. If one guy wins, it's 10-9. If there's a knockdown, it's 10-8. If there's a dominant round 2 knockdown, it's 10-7. It's not a hard scoring set. It's not fucking rocket science, guys. You're sitting outside the goddamn ring watching it, and you've got pretty good views. You know what I'm saying? Bourbon burps. Yo, yeah. Sorry there, guys. Bourbon Burts. I had to do my sponsorship. Oh, man, and I forgot about my sponsorship. Let's throw this in here real quick. Brown Family Construction sponsors my show. They are awesome, man. I love these guys. Jason Brown is the owner. They do a great job on any kind of work that you need, man. Check them out on Facebook. I will also drop their information at the end of my video. And if you need anything done in the Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, please hit them up, man. They do a great job inside, out, indoors, outdoors. Hit up Brown Family Construction, man. They sponsor the show. Thank you guys for sponsoring us and having faith in this show, man. But anyways, shit, man. Now I done forgot what the fuck I was talking about. I done lost track completely of what I was talking about. But like I was saying, I was watching this IS fight, watching that. Tim Bradley. I turn him off. I don't try to listen to him too much. All that, but the new scoring system that they have in place. Okay, yeah, I'm starting. It's all slowly starting to come back to me. Yeah, I'm not fucking crazy. But anyways, it's coming back to me. We were talking about the scoring system. I got off track there. I forgot about my sponsorship in the beginning. I had to jump back to them. But look, the new scoring system, it's not a new scoring system. It's the same scoring system. But you're sitting here the fucking show acting like you're a goddamn professional judge the whole time. That's all I heard from Tim Bradley. Now let's break down on how you score a fight. Come on, man. Anybody who watches boxing knows the basic motherfucking scoring of fights. It's your activity, how the power of your blows, whatever, your activity, how much you're throwing punches, how much you're landing, what is the damaging, what's your shots that you're damaging them with. This guy, man, I'll tell you what, Zayas is putting him down in the second round like 2 or 3 times, and every time this guy gets knocked down, he complains. You're getting knocked down cleanly by this young man. He's putting on a boxing clinic on him right now. But the rules are pretty basic and simple, man. It's not fucking rocket science. And it's not the scoring system that is flawed. It is the judges. And you got motherfucking people out there who is somebody's aunt or uncle or grandma or grandpa or whatever they are to them, their brother and sister, and they're judging and they don't know shit about boxing. They don't know really what the fuck they're watching, what they're supposed to be scoring on, or they were told by somebody who to score properly for, whatever, man. That's the problem with the boxing, with the scoring in boxing, and it's the judging. It's the judges, not the judging. The judges who don't know what the fuck they're watching half the time because they're not picked out. Or it would be like having an umpire in baseball who has never umpired a baseball game in his entire life, but you just throw him in there and hope that he knows what the fuck he's doing. And when he's blowing calls, you're surprised, like, oh, how'd you blow that call? Because you don't know what the fuck he's doing. It's not that hard. But listen to Tim Bradley trying to explain it was more irritating than anything, like as he was now the new, what do you call that? Somebody who advocate, the new advocate for boxing, judging and boxing, and it was just irritating. And then they showed the one guy, Mark something, and he had a scorecard of about a month ago that just made me want to punch him in his fucking face. And I think it was a Frank Martin. No, it wasn't a Frank Martin card. That wasn't him. That was Showtime. Almost got him mixed up, man. But anyways, I'll get past that, man, and we'll talk about the main card fight tonight, Lopez versus Gonzalez. That is for a belt. Lopez is on 11 fight winning streak, just knocked Conlon out. We saw that knockout maybe, just a few months ago, I would say. A few months ago, he did that big knockout. He went to Ireland, got a big knockout there. Gonzalez is a guy that's on his third time's a charm, as I say. Third and probably last chance for him to actually get a shot at a title. This would be probably, I would say, his last chance to get a shot. So he has to come out tonight and really showcase his skills. We know what Lopez can do. He's very dominant, very good boxer. I like him. I think he wins this fight easily. I think Gonzalez is just a stepping stone for Lopez to move on up. This is, once again, a guy in the lightweight division. Is he in the lightweight? I have to double check that. Double check that out. Double check that, Jeffrey. I don't know if he is a lightweight contender. I know William Zepeda is, but I do not think Lopez. He is a featherweight. Okay, so it's a featherweight, IBF's featherweight title. That he holds, but pretty impressive guy. 11 fight win streak. Looks good. Looks pretty dominant. I say he takes this fight against Gonzalez. Maybe we get surprised. This guy's, it's his last leg, so he's going to come out for this fight, no doubt. Been waiting all night for it. Guess it's out there, and where is it at? Oh, it's down in Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas. Yeah, we're going to Corpus Christi, baby, yeah. I want to be a cowboy. I do want to be a cowboy. I'm supposed to have a cowboy hat coming here soon. Brought to you by, I don't know, maybe a store that I go to. Boot Country, some shit like that. But anyways, man, let's take another shot. I want to say we are maybe midway through the show. I don't know, man. We still got a couple fights to talk about. We still got September. Really exciting month for boxing. We got the William Zepeda fight tomorrow. You got a fight over in Japan, big fight over there. And then we will go into next weekend with the heavyweight fight with Zhang and Joyce rematch. And then we'll get to see Canelo versus Charlo, which that whole card is fire. I'm really looking forward to that fight. It's got me pumped up. I will pay for that all day, baby. I'll pay for that. That's where that whole card is going to be fire, man. Like Burroughs and you guys on there fighting each other. I can't believe I can't remember the other fight, but it is a unbelievable card that's going to be presented to us. And then you'll get Charlo, Canelo to end that night. All that fun stuff. And then, of course, this weekend we do not have Canelo, which we usually do on Mexican Independence Day, but he is not here this weekend. But I tell you what, they did not go light on the Mexican fighters tonight. It has been almost an all Mexican, Spanish, Puerto Rican crowd. Fighters, all Spanish style. Xander putting a whooping on this guy right now. His face is all screwed up. Good matchup for him, though. And we're watching Lopez get ready now. Woo! Bourbon burps. No, I'm playing. I do like them bourbon burps, though. But, man, like I said, we got William Zepeda tomorrow night, man. I've been up since freaking 6 o'clock this morning, man. Fun work. But we have the William Zepeda fight coming up. You also have tonight, you got Angel Fierro. This fight is on the Zone. You can catch that on the Zone. Angel Fierro versus Brian Zamaripa. These are some hard names, especially when you've been drinking some goddamn bourbon. And then you also have Rafael Pedroza versus Ramon Cardenas. That's going to be on Showtime. I'll probably catch that tomorrow because I do have Paramount, which now carries Showtime. If you got Paramount, don't forget that you can get the Showtime fights on there. This is definitely not a pay-per-view fight. But tomorrow you have a really good fight with William Zepeda versus Marcito Gesta. That's going to be on the Zone tomorrow night over in California. So it'll be probably a late fight like this one that's down in Texas, a later fight being on the West Coast, shit like that. And then on Monday, man, don't miss out on a Monday fight. It's going to be on at 5 a.m. I'm off work on Monday, so, hey, I'll be up at 5 a.m. to watch this fight. Trust me, I will. And I'm going to catch it at 5 a.m. I'm going to get up. I'm going to watch it. It's Kenshiro Taraji versus Heki Butler. This fight has got a lot. Once again, it's kind of like the fight that's going on tonight. You know, you got a guy who lost a fight in Conchero, and he's now rebounded, and he's been on a tear, 7-fight win streak since losing that fight. You know, and then you got a guy like Butler who is on his last leg, last chance for a title fight, last chance to prove himself. So kind of a similar situation to what you have going on tonight is going to be going on Monday. So that's going to wrap up our week for boxing, which is nice, man. You get it on. You got 3 main cards today on a Friday night. You get a main card tomorrow night, Williams Zepeda, and then you're going to get that fight in Japan on Monday. So, I mean, I love when we get boxing all week like that. That is absolutely the best out there. But the Williams Zepeda fight, man, look, this is a lightweight fight. This is a big fight for Williams Zepeda as far as he's climbing the ladder as we speak. So every chance he gets, to prove himself, to move up, especially in this lightweight where it is just absolutely packed with talent. You got to stand out somehow. So he's got to put on a hell of a performance tomorrow. He's got to really impress people, Williams Zepeda, if you want us to believe that you're up there as one of the top lightweights with Shakur, with Tank, with Haney, with Lopez, or not Lopez, but Cambosa and Loma, Ramos, Jesus Ramos, if I'm correct. Is he in the lightweight? Whatever. You know, so you got a lot to prove. There's a ladder to climb. You're doing really good on climbing that right now. I like Williams Zepeda a lot. Like I said, he's got to put on a dominant performance tomorrow to continue to climb up that ladder and put his name out there as a top contender. Being at the zone, I'd like to see who else they can match him up with, man. It seems like most of your big lightweights are over in Top Rank, so not a lot to match him up with, but, I'm sure there's guys that can match him up with like they did tomorrow with that fight coming up. I think Zepeda I think he's got to dominate. Like I said, he's got to dominate that fight. He's got to put a stamp on who he is, and to show that, hey, I'm gonna fight anybody at any level. I'm good enough to fight anybody in the lightweight. So this is his chance to make that name for himself. Let's see if he can do it, man. We talked about the Conchero fight on a 7-fight win streak, all that fun stuff for that guy, man. So he's got a lot to prove, and like I said, he has a chance to. They say this guy's right there with Inoue in Japan. He's right there with him. So, with one loss, he's got an opportunity to prove himself, and we'll see what he can do there. But we'll also go into some more news that's been going around. Like I said, we got the Navarrete news that I told you guys about in the beginning. I couldn't hold back on that. But then, of course, earlier in the week, we were set up with the fight that's going on now. Man, look at this. William Zayas is going off on this guy right now. Guy's got blood running down his face. Xander Zayas just putting a whooping on this guy. If you guys haven't watched Xander Zayas, don't know much about him, give him a try. This guy is fighting is tough, but goddamn, he's getting his ass whooped. You can't be in there like you're the tough guy and your whole face is just busted up. Zayas putting a whooping on this guy, but hey, he's tough. You're a boxer, you got to be tough. All that fun stuff. We're going to take another shot together, baby. Some big fights on tonight. Of course, the Vargas boy was on. I think he's the middle kid. I can't think of his name. Emmanuel Vargas. Emmanuel Vargas. Not for sure what it is, but I want to say he is the second born, the middle kid, middle child. I watched the younger brother a week or maybe 2 weeks ago. I watched him. Now, these Vargas boys are good. I like watching them. Very skilled, very good fighters. Man, what is there? 3 of them? So, something to watch out for these guys. Man, bourbon burps. I'm telling you, them bourbon burps are fucking real, man. They are real. Gonna take another shot. Fuck you guys. It's Friday. My kids are sleeping. Well, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one, I'll tell you that. I'm sorry, I got a little out of hand there. I got 99 pounds, but a bitch ain't one. Look at the crowd. They cheering for me. But anyways, man, with the Shakur news, like Frank Martin saying he didn't pull out, I don't know how much to buy in that. There was quite a bit of more news that I wanted to get into this week. A couple stories, a couple fights that were on scheduled, all that fun stuff, man. Let's look into it, see what kind of news we had going on. I've heard rumor. Now, this is rumor, but this is pretty good news, I think, that I don't know how true this is, but they're saying Spence and Derek James are on the outs. That Spence may be looking for a new trainer, which that would be. I really don't know where to even go with that. If that happened, I don't know where Spence would go, who would go to. I mean, you're talking one of the best trainers out there, and Derek James. And then also in news that we got, I can't believe I forgot this. Crawford has said that he will not go to 154. He wants a catch weight at 148, which of course is going to give room. But he also wants a 10-pound rehydration clause put into the contract. And people are blowing their mind. They're saying, oh man, he made a contract. And the loser, this is what I heard. This can't be fucking true either. This can't be fucking true. They're saying the loser got to choose a weight class. How the fuck could that even be in a contract? That the loser got to choose a weight. The guy who lost the fucking fight is going to decide the terms of the next fight. The guy who got literally his ass kicked is going to decide the terms of the next fight. So, with that being said, Spence and his team have pulled out of negotiations with Crawford at the moment. But then, earlier in the week, the WBO, if I'm correct, has stamped a super champ onto Teofimo Lopez, right? Which would allow him to jump to 147 and be the automatic mandatory for that division. Yeah, pretty mind blowing. Now, what I'm thinking, does Crawford see the money signs with fighting a guy like Lopez? My other question is, Lopez has a lot to prove at 140. A lot of fights at 140 that he could take. Obviously, wait out the Haney results with, God damn it. But wait out the Haney fight, see how that goes with Regis Prograde, and see how that goes, and wait that out and unify that division. If it comes down to it, have a chance to unify that division. But that's a huge fight. Haney Lopez, right? We all want to see that fight. But Haney Crawford, or Crawford versus Lopez, is another big fight. And with them doing that, that takes Boots and that takes the Boots Ennis or Stayonis fight off the table for Crawford, in my opinion, because if Lopez decides to exercise that right that he's been stamped with as a super champ, and he can move up to 147 and fight a Crawford right now, immediately been a mandatory for all the belts to unify that division. Will he exercise that right? Just moving to 140, could he move up to 147 that fast? How much would it affect him? Is it too soon? There's so many fights for him at 140. Some really good talent at 140. And then I also remembered that Josh Taylor has now, he after the Teofimo fight, he said he was moving to welterweight 147. So if he officially moves to 147, he hasn't announced, which I figured he's been talking, so he's probably going to announce it really, really soon. Hey, Xander Zayas got a nice one tonight. Shout out to Xander. Fucking great win, man. But anyways, if Josh Taylor moves up to 147, does he become the automatic mandatory because he's Josh Taylor? Does he become the mandatory in that welterweight if Lopez does not exercise his option or right to be the mandatory with being the super champ for the WBO? Okay. So the options at 147 are looking really, really, really good for Crawford. Fighting a Josh Taylor is a plus. Fighting a Lopez is a plus. The Boots fight, not so much of a money draw for him. The Stanionis fight, not so much of a money draw for him. I mean, is it me or is it funny now that he sees more options? Now he sets the contract negotiations to, okay, this is what I want. I'm not moving to 154. When this guy talked about meeting Canelo halfway at 168, whatever Canelo's at, and now he's saying, no, I won't move to 154. I want to stay at 147, and I'll do a catch weight at 148, which, that's leaving negotiations, in my opinion, too, though, to say that, okay, we'll make the fight at 150. When it's all said and done, that probably would have been a 150 even. We'll meet at 150, a little bit down from what you want, a little bit up from what I want. Meet in the middle at 150, I think that could have been negotiated. Probably still can. I'm not saying that this fight is off the table, but I think Crawford sees that he has other options at welterweight. Think he wants to wait and see if Lopez exercises that option to fight him, to become the mandatory at 147. And if you're Lopez, why not? Are you going to wait for the Haney fight? If you want to wait for Haney, then wait for Haney. But Haney doesn't hold the belts at 140. He holds the belts at 135. So he's not a unified champ here. He'll get a belt from Regis. You have a belt. So that'll give you 2 belts. Maybe 3. I think he might have 3. But then you have to go get the other belts in that division to unify it. Or you could jump to 147 right now, be the mandatory for a guy like Crawford, where the money is. That's a big money fight. On top of being able to have a chance at the welterweight unification belts to unify that division. And then, you got a little bit of talent. Then you could fight Josh Taylor at 147, who I know would want to fight Lopez at 147. Because he, that's his thing. Hey, I needed to go up and wait. I didn't. He regrets that, but here's your chance. If Lopez goes up, can beat a Crawford, unify that division. I don't see it happening. Crawford will, in my opinion, man, it's hard to say. Would he dominate Lopez? Man, after watching him against Spence, it's like I was telling the Spence fans, they were arguing with me this week that 154 is going to make the difference. Spence just had an off night. He just had an off night, guys. He just had our bad boxing world. Spence just had a bad night. That's the only reason Crawford beat him. And he didn't listen to Derek James. That's the 2 excuses that I'm hearing. And, the third excuse was his weight, man. Never been a fucking issue. His weight was never an issue when he was beating up on Ugas and all these other fucking guys. Mikey, Mikey. You guys know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his last name. But beating up on these guys, it was not a fucking issue then. But when he got his ass kicked by Crawford, the weight wasn't an issue. He should have went up 2 years ago. Blah, 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 blah. The excuses are lame, man. Stop with the fucking excuses. Spence got his fucking ass kicked. He got a boxing lesson. Crawford, number 1, is the best switch fucking hitter in the goddamn game of boxing. He's the best counter puncher in the game of boxing. Go watch his fights, man. He's been doing it for a really long time. He's a very smart, calculated fighter. Okay? And third, this motherfucker didn't switch hit the whole Spence fight. He stayed in a southpaw position and whooped Spence's ass in southpaw and never switched up the whole fucking fight and countered him so beautiful the whole fight. Established a jab that everybody said he didn't have, but utilized it like he'd had it his whole career. So you can tell me all you want that 154 will make a difference for Spence. It's not. There's a level to this motherfucking shit. I've said it before, man. I've said it plenty of times on this show. There are levels to boxing. We thought, a lot of us, boxing fans, boxing enthusiasms, enthusiasts, enthusiasts. We all thought Spence was that next level. Teddy Atlas said, no. Crawford is that next level, right? Teddy told us fucking 10 years ago about Crawford. How amazing this guy was. What he was seeing in his fights and how impressed he was with this guy. He was special. Teddy told us about him. We all said, oh, Spence is at level, man. Spence is at that next level. And then Teddy was telling us, no, Crawford's at that fucking level above Spence. Spence is here. Okay, well, Crawford's here. And we were all like, okay, well, we'll see. Crawford showed us. And now all these Spence guys are out here talking, well, Spence was, no weight, didn't listen to his trainer, had a bad night. No excuse, dude. An ass whooping is an ass whooping. When there's a close fight, you can say, okay, one or two things made this fight different. One punch, two punch, one counter, two counter, whatever, in this fight, one knockdown made the difference in this fight, and that's why Crawford won. But he didn't. He dominated that whole fucking fight. I mean, he put on the most beautiful display of boxing I've ever seen in my life, dude. With two top guys. Not Lopez versus Gonzalez like we had tonight. We know Lopez is that level ahead of Gonzalez, so if Gonzalez wins, that's an upset. They're not at the same level. Crawford and Spence were same levels. That's what we were told. They're the same level guys. And Crawford put on the most beautiful display of boxing that you could ever watch. Counter, patience, jab, just everything you could do right, he did right. And sent a message to the boxing world. I'm that fucking guy. Oh, bourbon burps. That was a oh yeah. That was a fucking top rated burp. Yeah. Anyways, so now supposedly that fight is off, but we look at the options that Crawford has. If Lopez exercises his super champ option, which why wouldn't he? If you have a chance to fight Crawford, the money alone. Now, is he ready for Crawford? If I was to give him advice, I would say exercise your rights at 140 as a super champ and go through that division, unify it, stay away from Crawford. I just talked about how he's special and how he does things that other guys don't do, right? And I think Lopez, as much as I like him, when he's on, man. When he is on, he is one of the best in the game, no doubt about it. But he's shown he can have a bad night, right? We've seen that with Lopez, that he can have a bad night. We've never seen that with Crawford. We've never seen Crawford have a bad night. So we've seen Lopez have a bad night. If he even has slightly an off night against Crawford, it's an ass whooping. You've got to be the top of your game against Crawford. You have to be the best of the best against Crawford. And you have to be better than him. And I don't see Lopez being better than him, so I wouldn't really exercise that right to fight. If you want money, yeah. If you want the money, you want the super fight, you want the recognition, you want that attention that fight's going to bring, then yeah, you fight a Crawford. You take that mandatory and take that fight. If not, be smart, stay away from it, in my opinion. Dominate the 140 division that you just moved up to, and then when you feel like you're ready to move to 147, after a few fights, a little bit more experience under your belt, then you go fight a Crawford, a guy like that. But by that time, Crawford doesn't have a lot of time. Crawford is 35, 36 years old. He just turned 35, 36, something like that. So he is up there as far as an older fighter. He was blackballed for many, many years. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They blackballed him over Spence. They didn't want that fight to happen. That fight should have happened 2 years ago. And Crawford would have did the same thing he did now. You know what I mean? It would have been the same fight. All right. Let's take another shot. We are talking some boxing, baby. Right now, I'm getting ready to watch the Lopez versus Gonzalez main card. We just watched Xander Zayas. defend and get a title. He's got a couple title straps now. Uh, Looking up as a good young talent, man. But I am ready for this Lopez Gonzalez fight. I've been waiting all day for it, man. It's been a late one. I'm on the East Coast, guys. So if you guys are on the West Coast, you have the privilege right now of it being like, what, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever. I'm over here on the East Coast where it's almost midnight. I had to work in the morning, been up early, but I ain't giving up, man. I ain't done with this show, man. We're talking boxing. We're talking fights that should happen that aren't happening. Frank Martin, man. What is going on, Frank? Where you at, Frank? Should have took that Shakur fight. Do you guys imagine? Now, here's my question though: would the Navarrete versus Concession fight happen if it was Showtime? This is an all Top Rank event. Makes you wonder if Top Rank didn't do some shit just to sabotage doing a cross promotion with Showtime and PBC because they wanted this Navarrete fight on that undercard, and they weren't going to do that if it was a cross promotion. That wasn't going to happen. It would have been, hey, we want some of our guys, you get some of your guys, all that kind of shit. It would have been a mix and match. But now, Top Rank has full control over who they can put on that card. And of course, they got some good young talent. Let's just put them in against some good talent, guys. Stop babying these guys. Woo! Oh, Rokazaki. I feel like there's some other news going on. I know, like I said, we got next weekend. We got the Zhang versus Joyce 2 coming up. Zhang kind of dominated that fight the first time. Just southpawed the Stonefoot Joyce, who I'm not super impressed with Joyce. He's got a big name over in the UK. Zhang, I think, is a pretty good guy. I think he's a good boxer. With as weak as the heavyweight division is, yes, I think he's a top 5 guy. I put him against AJ any day of the week, and he beats AJ. So overrated. AJ Anthony Joshua, so overrated. You guys love that guy. I won't get into that much. But it's a good week for boxing. We had a lot of fights going on today. I've been watching boxing since about 6:30 today. Been on here talking about it since I got off work today on the internet. Like I said, guys, I also have a Facebook group called Bourbon and Boxing. Look it up. Join my group, man. I do daily posts, daily conversations. Like I said, it's an open public group. You can comment, you can post as long as it's about boxing. I welcome all that shit, guys. I would really love some interaction on here, man. I'd love for somebody to call me out to want to argue some boxing with me, man. Let's argue boxing and relevant new boxing. I don't give a fuck about the past boxing. The past is the past, man. I'm not going to get into a Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao debate with you. That's so fucking annoying. I'm not going to get into those debates with you. Do I acknowledge the history of boxing? Fuck yeah, I do. Do I love the history of boxing? Fuck yeah, I do. But I like to keep it relevant, especially right now when there's so much talent in boxing and so many great fights that are going to happen. Like September right now, we're going to get the Williams Zepeda fight. Tomorrow, next week, we get the Zhang Joyce fight. The week after that, we get the Charlo Canelo fight that has an absolute amazing undercard on it. So, come on, guys, we get everything we want with boxing right now, and then we're getting fight after fight lined up. Of course, the Haney versus Prograis fight is now back on. Glad to see that fight happening, but Haney's WBC belt is put on recess, or WBO. One of the two, man. All these motherfucking belts, dude. I get confused sometimes. But, one of his belts been put on recess down in the lightweight division. And come on, guys. Tank Davis is the best in the lightweight division. He should be holding every one of these belts. So I don't even want to go into that conversation. But the Progress Haney fight is going to happen. I think they said in October. Then November, you're going to get the Shakur versus De Los Santos fight. And then on the undercard of that is Navarrete versus Concession, which is Navarrete is going to fucking beat the shit out of Concession. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of that guy. When he fought Balde, he thinks he. This is what he says on ESPN Plus. He beat fucking Bourbon Burps, man. That shit is real. But he said on ESPN that he beat Valdez more convincingly than Navarrete did. First off, you didn't beat Valdez. You fought 5 rounds and thought you did enough to win the fucking fight, and you danced around the rest of the goddamn fight. It made me hate you as a fighter, bro. It made me hate you after that. You were winning that fight the first 5 rounds. I will give you that. And then for some reason, you thought to yourself that you did enough to win that fight and that you were just going to dance around for the rest of the motherfucking fight, showboat, dance. You can't touch me. But you weren't throwing punches. And then you went on to proceed that you won that fucking fight. You didn't win the fight. You didn't finish the goddamn fight, bro. It made me really, really hate this guy as a boxer. I hate a showboater. Guys that do that, that talk trash. I hate trash talking motherfuckers. I hate showboaters. These are guys that I dislike in boxing, man. These are guys that get under my skin. Rolly Romero's, like that fucking guy gets under my skin so bad, and I'd love to see him lose. He lost his last fucking fight against fucking Grandpa Jones. That guy was old as fuck. They're like, he's 40 years old. I'm 42 tomorrow, but I'm 42. If that guy was in his 40s, he's had the roughest fucking life of anybody I've ever met in my life. He looked like he was fucking 80, and he beat Romero. But I don't like these mouthy guys. I don't like Concession because he does that bullshit. Does he have talent? Yes, he does, but he doesn't fight a full fight. He either and then after that, Valdez was the best fight that I've seen him in. Every other fight after that, he's been dog shit. He hasn't looked good. He's gonna get the break speed off of him by Navarrete. I can promise you fucking that. Navarrete, this won't even be a fight. I predict 5 rounds. Navarrete knocks this guy out. But that fight, it's good that they're gonna have this happening. Frank pulling out made this possible, in my opinion. So it kind of makes you think if Top Rank didn't sabotage that to set up this Navarrete Shakur fight, that is my dream fight. Has to happen, guys. I've told you guys this, man. If they can do this for me, I'll be the happiest guy in the world in 2024 to get to see the Shakur versus Navarrete fight. And man, I'm telling you guys now, it's hard for me to pick because Shakur, I've always said, was the future face of boxing. His talent, his skill, I really like. But Navarrete is different, man. He's a different type of guy. Very unorthodox. I like him a lot. Been a big fan of his since I watched him about three years ago. I would say about 3 years ago, I watched this guy and just, God, fell in love with his style. Like, oh, man, he is different. But, hey, check it out. The Lopez is headed to the ring. Gonzalez, this fight is about to happen. Maybe I stay live with you guys. We'll talk about this fight. Maybe not. I'm a few shots in. I'm getting a little drunk at this point, my friend. And it's like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm forgetting what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's see if we can find any more news on boxing, man. Any news that I might have forgot about. It's just telling me all the results. And, of course, Adrian Broner are always in the news. That's been announced. Chris Howard, Adrian Broner announced for November 4th. In, oh, God, that little ass casino in Miami by the Arabs. We're going to do a fight for you, America. Fuck yeah. I mean, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. That fight's going on right now. I don't see a lot of. I felt like there was other news. Yeah, of course they're announcing the co-fight for that. Let's move on down. So this is interesting. Manny Pacquiao stands firm on pursuing gold medal at the 2024 Olympic Games. Is he eligible? The dude's like 100 fucking years old. Is he eligible to fight in the Olympics? He's like 100, dude. I don't think he wants to do that, man. Do you? I don't think he does. But anyways, man, Joet Gonzalez is getting ready to fight Lopez. Our main event is finally starting. I've been waiting all day for this. Let's take another shot together. Me and you. All right, here's to you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in to episode 14, man. My name is Jeff. This is Bourbon and Boxing, in case you forgot, which I don't know how you forget. It's up in the fucking corner. It tells you what the name of the show is. But anyways, man, let's just keep taking shots. Let's watch this fucking fight together. You guys want to watch a fight with me? Joet Gonzalez. Maybe I'll put it on there and I'll commentate the fight. Maybe I'll stream it live. I might get in fucking trouble by Top Rank. But maybe we'll see how that goes for us, right? Ah, here we go, guys. Hey, he looks ready. He looks ready for this fight, guys. This is going to be a good one, man. We will talk and break. We will talk about the results of this fight next weekend. I'll break it down. Not break it down for you guys. I'm buzzing, so I won't break anything down. We will talk about the results. Give my reaction. Reaction. That's a word I was looking for. That's a hard word to try to find. I was reaching deep back. I'm like, and then I found it and I pulled it out of my asshole and I say, here it is. No, I'm playing. But hey, guys, this fight is about to start, man. I think I'm going to jump in and watch this. I might stick with you guys. Hey, let's stick together. Jab thrown, jab, jab. Gonzalez throwing some jabs at Lopez. Oh, Lopez coming strong, boy. Like I said, Lopez wants to set himself up to be known. 11 straight. He's being really aggressive. Looks good. Oh shit! Just took a nice fucking overhand by Gonzalez. These guys are starting out in the first round pretty good. Look, he punched low. He got pissed off. Blah blah. I feel like this is going to be a good fight, guys. These guys look like they're about the same height, same size. Good matchup. Pretty evenly matched so far. Both have a nice jab establishing. I feel like Gonzalez is establishing his jab a little bit better. Lopez is going more for the bigger punches at the moment, being more the aggressive fighter. So let's see if that might bite him right in the ass, guys. But anyways, man, like I said, welcome to episode 14. This is boxing, or bourbon and boxing. Not boxing and bourbon, bourbon and boxing. Today we are drinking on Woodford Reserve. One of my faves, man. One of my faves. I was hoping to have a cowboy hat. Again, I don't have one. And I used to have female problems, but I got 99 problems. But a bitch ain't one. That's a goddamn fact. I'll leave it at that, man. I'll leave it at that. Hey, tomorrow is my birthday, man. So let's take one more shot to fucking gather, guys. One more shot together, everybody. You want to take a shot with me? Who wants to take a shot with me? Sounds like you guys want to take a shot with me. I would use the what symbol? I don't even know what that one is. Let's find out. I'll put my headphones in and figure out what the fuck I am putting on for you guys. Oh, nothing. Oh, what? 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 All right, man. Thank you guys for joining me for episode 14. This is like actually episode like 20 fucking. I've got like 31 videos up, so it'd be like episode 20 something. But I changed the name of the show. If you guys have been following me, then you know it used to be The Sweet Science, which everybody was The Sweet Science. So, Bourbon Burbs brought to you by Bourbon and Boxing and Woodford Reserve. Sorry, guys, I get a little bit excited when I get a buzz. God damn, these bourbon burps are for real, for real. But anyways, guys, we're going to take another shot together, man. Fuck it, man. We're watching this goddamn fight together, guys. Together, we are watching this fucking fight together, guys, as one. And we'll see what the results are. Talk to me about boxing, man. That's what I want you guys to do. I want reactions, man. I want somebody to tell me I'm a dumbass, fucking call me out, say, hey, you don't know shit. But I love this sport, so to challenge me, you better be ready, motherfucker, because I'm coming, coming real. Do you know what I mean? Man, I got fans, bro. You hear these motherfuckers in the back? You don't see them. You don't fucking see them. But they're there, bro. They're there. That shit's real. No, I don't know. Probably imaginary in my fucking head. Watching this main event, man. I need to put like 3 more TVs down here, or at least 1 more TV so that I can watch multiple fights, right? Because that fight's going on Showtime. I would think right about now that fight on Showtime is happening. So I would like to watch that one. Also, but yeah, this one's good too. Oh, God. Yawning. What kind of bullshit is that? Fucking yawning, man. What the fuck? What? 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 Hey, mother chuchacas. I don't even know what I'm speaking half the time. It's like my own language. I'll make it up. But hey, man, episode 14, baby. Video 31. Video 31. Yeah. Over 1,000 views, man. I'm fucking getting somewhere. No, not really. I don't. I do have over 1,000 views. I'm happy about that. But we got to get more views, man. Come on, guys. Tune in. If you like boxing, man, tune in, man. We fucking talk all day long. Take a shot with me and talk boxing. Bourbon and Boxing, where we drink bourbon and we talk boxing. Join us every week on Friday, but the video doesn't get uploaded till Saturday because my shit is slow as hell. Oh, yeah. It's like the Kool-Aid. I need the Kool-Aid guy to burst through my wall right now. When I say, oh, yeah. That guy just comes to the wall. Okay. Maybe 1 too many bourbon shots today. This is like my 4th one just for this show. Like, woo, blah, 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 blah. I will say what I see so far, Gonzalez is the aggressor. Lopez being very patient. I feel like he's going to land a big shot. You know, when you see the guy that's being over aggressive, he knows he's got 1 shot. Like Eminem said, 1 shot. He's got to put it all on the line, Gonzalez. It's win or go home, baby. Your career is over if you take this L, homie. I mean, you'll get fights. You'll just be a journeyman. That's just how it goes. But hey, guys, man, fucking A, man. Thank you for joining me for episode 14 of Bourbon and Boxing, where a lot of it was probably drawn out by my bullshit. But thank you for joining me. I like it. It entertains me. Tomorrow is my birthday. I wanted to wait till tomorrow to do the show, but then it takes so long to upload that I probably would have uploaded it and the Williams Zepeda fight would have been fucking over and I'd look like a goddamn idiot trying to fucking upload some shit that's a day behind. I don't want to do that, man. We got some great boxing this week. 3 main events today that I talked about already. A main event tomorrow with Williams Zepeda. Lightweight upcoming, climbing the ladder. Got a lot to prove. Got to have a big showing tomorrow, William. You got to make a knockout. Make people remember your fucking name, man. Then you also get a Monday fight in Japan. That's going to be nice. And then we go into next week with a big heavyweight battle rematch between Zhang and Joyce. Damn, that's just real, player. Brought to you by Bourbon Burps. But anyways, I feel like the fucking grandpa off of fucking was it Rick and Morty? Fucking always burping when I get these bourbon burps. They just build. Oh shit! And then you burp. But anyways, like I said, you got those fights that we're watching for tomorrow. Watching the fights tonight. Got a fight on Monday. I'm off of work on Monday, so I get up nice and early. And we are drinking on Woodford Reserve. You guys want to take one more shot with me? I'm pretty sure this is a shot I shouldn't take. You know how you're sitting there and you're thinking, man, I'm getting ready to take a shot. And deep, deep, deep in the back of your head and in your gut, you're like, I should take this shot. But you're going to take it anyways. Hey, sometimes you just got to see where the road takes you. I'm going to go down the road of being fucked up player with another shot. What is this? 5 shots? 6 shots for us? I don't know. I think we're on shot number 4 or 5. 4 or 5. I think 4. 4 maybe. Maybe. Anyways, man, like I said, this is episode 14. I am your host, Jeff. This is Bourbon and Boxing, baby, where we talk boxing. We drink bourbon. That's what our show is about. We're going to take this last shot together, guys. We're going to call this a night. We had some great news breaking. Neverate is going to be on the undercard of the Shakur Stevenson fight. God, it drives me nuts. Why pussyfoot around that fight, man? Just make it happen. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen, man. But anyways, we're going to get that fight in the future. I guarantee it. This is a setup for it. But we got the news today. Shakur versus De Los Santos, which that was a few days ago. But then they dropped Navarrete versus Concession going on the same fucking night as a co-main event. Guys, thank you for joining me for episode 14 of Bourbon and Boxing. Let's take this shot together and call it a night, guys. All right, man. Thank you for joining me. Once again, our sponsor, Brown Family Construction. Thank you, guys. You guys doing an awesome job. If you need construction done, hit them up. And once again, thank you for joining me, guys. Episode 14, Bourbon and Boxing. Salute, guys.